APJ Abdul Kalam. Welcome here, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and privilege for me to welcome the inaugural keynote speaker of this morning. Statesman, scientist, motivational guru, Dr. Kalam exudes hope and inspiration in the age of cynicism and resentment. It is the second time I have the honor of inviting him to this stage. Dr. Kalam, as President of India, was the inaugural speaker at our second conclave in 2003. Sir, it's great that you're here with us 10 years later. While in office as the 11th President of India between 2002 and 2007, Dr. Kalam redeemed the highest office of the Republic by the sheer force of his personality and earned the title of People's President. Out of office, Dr. Kalam continues to serve the nation with the same sense of dedication, humanism, and humility. He's a globe-trotting preacher of development and innovation with a cult following among the youth. At 81, this sprightly evangelist of knowledge is an icon of young India. Dr. Kalam came to Rashtrapati Bhavan with the formidable reputation of being the missile man, with a rock star aura and a hairstyle which helps. By training an aeronautical engineer, the man from Rameshwaram in South India began his career as the project director of India's first indigenous satellite vehicle, which earned a membership in the Space Club. After an illustrious 2 decades in India's satellite program, he headed our missile development project, and later led the Pokhran-II nuclear test, which made India a nuclear weapon state. He also, for 2 years, served as the principal scientific advisor to the Government of India. In the modernization of our defense technology, there was no leader more influential than Dr. Kalam. In a politically divided India by its first right-wing Prime Minister, headed by its first right-wing Prime Minister, Dr. Kalam became a consensus candidate for the President. It was a tribute to his status as a national hero, but he was not an ornamental president, nor was he a partisan, as was some of his predecessors. Dr. Kalam not only upheld the best tradition of the office, but defied its rigid viceregal protocols to bring it closer to the people. In his own words, he turned Rashtrapati Bhavan into People's Bhavan. He made that hallowed premises on Raisina Hill accessible to ordinary citizens. His invitees included farmers, policemen, postmen, village sarpanches, and most significantly, students from all over India. The first citizen was at his inspirational best when he was with the young. He swayed their minds with his vision for India 2020. If we invest in knowledge and innovation, he believed India would become a developed nation. A Gandhian in his lifestyle, he was every inch modern and 21st century in his working style, and he still is. As president, he was guide, friend, teacher, and national role model, evoking admiration and affection in equal measure. Dr. Kalam is all that, even now, and busier as a best-selling author and most sought-after knowledge guru. In a country that is growing demographically younger, he is in permanent conversation with the youth. A random selection of his book titles, Wings of Fire, India 2020, Ignited Minds, gives us a glimpse of one of India's finest minds. It is a mind that inspires the youth and ignites ideas of change, a mind in relentless pursuit of a better tomorrow. No wonder the topic of his address today is paradigm shift in thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arun. Friends, good morning to all of you. And we are going to invent the democracy. I hope together we will invent. I thought of sharing you one information before starting my lecture. For different places. One is in Beijing. Another is in a place called near Moscow. It's about 1,000-year-old city. That city is called Yaroslavl, where the president of the Russia, Mr. Dmitry Medvedev, invited some of us, to discuss the modern state, standards of democracy, and criteria for efficiency. And 2010, we all assembled there, about 40 in the field of nation building, nation management, and the topic was standards of democracy and criteria for efficiency. Another one I attended last year, that is in November 2012. There in PG Forum, the topic they had is harmony of civilization and prosperity for all, challenges, opportunities, new thinking and new reality. Why I am saying this too, whether democratic nation or non-democratic nations are tending to become a democratic nation, you are trying to see that how democracy can be applied. Of course, democracy has got multi-dimensions. Everybody claims they are a democratic nation, but the method of doing quite different. So I want to share some experiences, mostly when I am teaching at various places. So far I have met 15 million youth in our country. Last 10 years' time, they ask difficult questions. You must be there when they ask the questions. Some people don't ask questions, but they ask me all sorts of questions. I am delighted to participate at the India Today Conclave 2013 on reinventing democracy, organized by India Today. My greetings to India Today speakers, delegates to all of you, participants, invitees and distinguished guests. During the evolution of humanity from antiquity, several transformational challenges have been brought out in many fields. One of the most important of them is democracy. I firmly believe that the fundamental principle of democracy is there to stay forever, with its aim of continuous empowerment of citizens for their betterment. As our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, said, democracy, disciplined and enlightened, is the finest thing in the world. Gandhi said, democracy, disciplined and enlightened, is the finest thing in the world. So when we say reinventing democracy, the real thrust is the continuing effort to refine the process and the institutions of democracy and their networking to ensure the realization of the fundamental goals of democracy, of empowering the citizens. As the world around us is changing fast and the informations, our nation needs urgently a paradigm shift in thinking, and forum like India Today Conclave can be the launching platform for such a thought process shift. I appreciate the efforts of India Today in organizing today's conclave on the theme Reinventing Democracy. My favorite author is Professor Tony Judd. In his latest book, he says, the name of the book is Ill Fares the Land. Ill, I-double. Ill fares the land. The message starts with, Tony starts with, if you do not talk differently, we shall not think differently. That's the message of the book. If you do not talk differently, we shall not think differently. I am sure India Today Conclave 2013 will help all of us to think differently. Hence, the topic I am going to discuss with you is paradigm shift in thinking. Now, friends, I am going to talk to you one incident which took place in a college. Friends, when I see you all with the cheering faces, some of you very serious, I recall an incident in the year 2001 when I was teaching at Anna University, Chennai, a course on societal transformation using technology. Societal transformation using technology. I was invited, at that time, I was invited by the Presidency College of Chennai to interact with the students. When I reached the venue, Presidency College venue, I saw more than 1,500 students overflowing the hall. It was very tough to reach the dais. After I finished my lecture, Vision Elevate the Nation, the topic I selected, Vision Elevate the Nation, I received a number of questions from the students which I answered. When I was leaving the hall, suddenly a young student pushed himself from the crowd and thrust a crumpled paper in my hand. I put the paper in my pocket and read it in the car while I was returning to Anna University. My mind got elevated with the power of the message from T. Saravanan doing MPhil in Presidency College at that time. I would like to share the content of the letter with all of you since it is relevant to the subject we are going to discuss. The letter went like this. Dear sir, he is addressing to me, dear sir, the full power of a banyan tree is equal to the power in the seeds of the tree. In a way, he says, in a way, both of us, you and me, himself, the student, myself, you and me are the same, but we exhibit our talents in different forms. A few of the seeds become banyan trees, but many seeds die as saplings without ever becoming a tree. Due to certain circumstances and environment conditions, many seeds even get damaged and become part of the soil as a manure, helping new seeds to become trees, the boy says. Saravanan then asked me in the letter, you have worked for the country and helped many scientists, engineers, knowledge workers. Can you tell me how you ensured their abilities were not wasted or their growth was not stunted prematurely like seeds that never become trees? In your service, what is the percentage of success you can claim? It's a fantastic question. I suitably answered Saravanan and added, it was my great job to see my team members excelling in knowledge and action compared to me. Since Saravanan wanted to know the percentage of success, I replied that it would have been minimum 60%, but the 60% emerged out of 100% worked for the projects. The message I would like to give is, for all of you, the seeds of banyan tree are indeed something like a citizens of the nation. Democracy gives opportunity to every citizen to grow with capacity to perform. Democracy has to give capacity to perform. Every citizen indeed contribute to the success of the few. Let the success of the Indian nation be shared by all Indian citizens. Let every seed nurture. Nevertheless, seeds that become manure must not be treated lesser than the seed that become trees. Now friends, right to live with dignity. In continuation, every citizen in the country has a right to live with dignity. Every citizen has a right to aspire for distinction in his own levels. Availability of opportunities, just and fair means, dignity and aspiration, space to every dignity and aspiration space to every citizen is what democracy is all about. This is the axis of our constitution to make life wholesome and worth living in a true and vibrant democracy for all citizens of the nation. In vibrant democracy, empowered human being is indeed the prime mover. We need to bring people out of the suffocation and loss of human rights due to the backwardness, induced economic status, caste differentiation, violence against women and children, and the unjust domination of the helpless by those in power. People are getting restless. If the cancer of corruption and frustration generated by denial of timely justice at an affordable cost are not dealt with soon, a revolution will start giving birth to the empowered human beings. Therefore, the right approach is to strengthen the democracy and take advanced actions. Take advanced actions, short-term, long-term, instead of precipitating the crisis. Keep on reacting on the contingency basis. The roadmap for graduating our people into an empowered, enlightened citizen will have to include three aspects. Number one, education with value system. Religions graduating into spirituality, and removal of poverty and economically making the nation strong. Let us look at the unity of minds. At this point, I would suggest that at social levels, it is necessary work for the unity of minds. Indian civilization is a multilingual, as you know, multi-faith, multi-racial system evolved over centuries. The increasing intolerance for views and lifestyle of others and the expression of these differences through lawless violence cannot be justified in any context. All of us have to work hard and do everything to make our behavior civilized and respect the rights of every individual. That is the most fundamental of the democratic values, which I believe is our civilization heritage and the very soul of our nation. Let us evolve ourselves into a society that respects differences and celebrate differences. Let our experts, leaders, institutions show in their words and deeds for tolerant for other people's opinion, tolerant for other people's culture, tolerant for other people's beliefs, tolerant for other people's styles, and tolerance of other people's ideas. In fact, such attitude at the individual and community level has been the hallmark of Indian civilization. Now, friends, I would like to share with you certain thoughts based on my experience about the linkage of many disciplines which have to work in symphony for the development and growth of democratic nation. Rule of law. I have studied the development process of our nation last 10 years. As you are aware, there are several interfaces that makes the total system of democracy. These are political leaders, lawmakers, parliament, administrators, police, scientists and technologies, doctors, lawyers and judges, media, and other professionals and non-governmental organizations. Every interface has to work with a common vision of the development mandate for our country. Also, it has to be transparent and pure. All of us, irrespective of the segment of the system to which we belong, have to regulate ourselves by a code of behavior ordained by the Constitution. Freedom available to a segment seemingly unfettered by the mandate of the so-called majority is a formulating wholesome legalistic stipulation within the framework of the Constitution for common good, not for imprudent enactments aimed at transient appeasement of one another section of the people. Likewise, the virtue of discreetness must be cultivated among those who hold power. The pen having writ can certainly move on with telling effect, to say the least. Friends, I am voicing the thought as a concerned citizen. The promise of rule of law made in the Constitution of India has not been kept. Privileges cannot be used to make others to suffer, and certainly they are not meant to flaunted. Rights are meant to be exercised for achieving the right thing. They are not to be brandishized. Politeness and moderation are virtues of good public life. Self-restraint by each of the social organs coupled with respect for the others should become conditionally, consciously remembered and as followed with a sincerity and honesty. The earlier the realization comes to each of the pillars of democracy, namely the legislature, executive, judiciary, the better for all of us. This is indeed a prescription for a healthy and resurgent democracy system. Indian democracy has many challenges, which have to be seen as a great opportunities. The successful experiment done by us to improve the lot 1/6 of the world population will have lessons for the entire humanity. Let me talk to you the political system democracy. Democracy works on the foundation of people's dreams and aspirations, which have to form the manifesto of the political system. It is not democracy that has to be reinvented. What is to be reinvented is our political system with its responsibilities and its boundary conditions. When I see you all in front of me, dear friends, I would like to recall my 10 addresses in the parliament during my period of 5 years, and my address to the 15 state legislative assemblies on the mission for the development of the states in a time-bound manner. I gave an equation in the parliament. What I said in parliament, I said political system is equal to political politics plus developmental politics. Any parliamentarian or legislator has to go through these two political components. Political politics is to focus on election and getting elected with the declared agenda. Development politics is to focus on the development of the constituency as a part of the mission for developed state, thereby developed India. This requires vision, measurable mission targets, feedback on progress, even mid-course correction whenever necessary. I believe that a member, once to get elected, should spend only 30% of the time for political politics, and the remaining 70% time must be devoted to development politics, but reverse taking place. To illustrate the development politics, one political party will declare and work for the nation to be transformed into an economically developed nation within 10 years. Another party will say in 10 years' time not only nation will achieve economic development but also be transformed into economic power in the world. That means the goal of the parties will be same as far as development is concerned, and the vision of the country is the driving force of taking decision. Now normally in our country, the members work 70% of the time or more for political politics. In recent election, there are indications in our country, in recent election, 5 states, there are indications in our country that citizens prefer and re-elect multiple times such of those leaders, chief ministers, who according to them bring in development results, fast development results. So it's a big message. So the message is democracy with the development politics, that is the economic development agenda, is indeed has to spring in the midst of the parliamentary democracy. Nation is bigger than the political system. Nation is bigger than the political system. The 540 million youth of the Indian nation are the most powerful resource on our planet. I will conclude with sharing a glimpse of what Indian youth thinks about our democracy. On 19 January 2011, I visited Amaravati to attend a program organized, a youth conference of the whole of Maharashtra and neighboring states, to address about 1.2 lakh youth. I gave a talk in the dais, all the political leaders were sitting there. I gave a talk on the subject, I am unique. In the presence of many political, societal development leaders, teachers, and educationists. After I finished my lecture, among other questions which I answered, one interesting question came from a rural boy. He asked a question, sir. He asked me a question, sir, can you please tell me, our media and my friends always say China is economically progressing well and faster compared to India. Tell me, sir, why India cannot go faster in development? Tell us what we youth should do. It's a fantastic question you asked. Tell us. Youth is asking what I should do to make India go faster in the development. Now, what has happened there? There was a full ovation for this boy's question. 1 lakh people, they cheered that boy who asked the question with the message that the crowd of 1 lakh youth needed answer from me. They wanted answer from me. Okay. How do you answer? Do you have an answer? Do you have an answer, any one of you? Dear friends, do you have an answer for the boy's question? Of course you may have. But in Amaravati, I have to answer in front of all the young, energetic fellows. My friends and dais were looking for me for an answer, reflecting for a brief moment. I asked the boy, what is your name? His name was Vineet. He said, Vineet. I said, Vineet, you have powerful mind. Also love your nation. No doubt about it. My answer for you is, it is true that the economic progress between China and India is quite different. After both nations, India is following democracy based on the parliamentary system elected by the people. Democracy is accompanied by lift and drag, and we must keep flying. Lift and drag, that probably you will discuss about that. What is lift, what is drag? The associate delays have to be removed by the leadership quality. I said, the associate delays have to be removed by the leadership qualities. But I want to ask all the youth assembled there, I said, I want to ask all the youth assembled here, dear young friends, suppose I put a question, I give you two systems, one with full democracy with high pace of development, and the other, the political system like China, with one who you would like to choose. Which one you would like to choose? When I asked them, lift their hands, 99% of youth lifted their hands and said, we want democracy with a faster rate of growth. Here, the message is 540 million youth. They want a faster growth of democracy. Probably that may be one of the agenda. For you, the agenda of our discussion, and I believe. So, go. Now, with this mind, I went to Beijing. Beijing Forum, I was asked a special address to give the international conference. Then I met a lot of political leaders, Chinese, academicians, and various fields. I was always wondering the fastness where from it comes. Fast? No? The boy asked, why one system very fast, another slow? Then I realized I met a number of Chinese youth and my political academic leaders. I came to know that all prospective political leaders for governance have to attend a course at China Executive Leadership Academy with multiple branches of Chinese political philosophy and the role of politician for the development of China for 1 year course. After that only the official political leaders graduate to assume political responsibility. This is one message I want to give to this audience. The message here that the young mind is indeed turbulent and looking for the vision for the nation. Nothing can satisfy them except vision for the nation. That means we need visionary leaders and fast accomplishment. It is very important to engage the young mind with an aspiring vision for thinking and action. The ignited minds of the youth of India are the most powerful resource on the earth, above the earth, and under the earth. Friends, so far, I discussed to you nurturing the seeds, right to live with dignity, unity of minds, interconnected societal system, governance, necessity of code of conduct for the citizens, and political system in democracy, dynamics of the youth mind. Now, I would like to present how important for the nation to have a vision. Many a civilization disappeared from the earth because of absence of the vision. It is time for India to have a creative leadership in every branches of our life to articulate the vision, to transform the vision into mission and capacity to make the mission into a reality in agriculture, industry, and service sector. Friends, in conclusion, I have seen myself 3 dreams. I was a partner of the dreams, which have taken a shape as a vision, mission, and realization. Space program of ISRO, Agni program of DRDO, Defense Research Development Organization, on providing urban amenities, rural areas, becoming the national mission. Of course, these three programs succeeded in the midst of many challenges and problems. I have worked in all these three areas. I would like to convey to all of you what I have learned on leadership from these three programs. Reinventing democracy. We have to reinvent it to give birth to democracy. Leaders. Great creative leaders. Now what did I learn? I have learned leadership from these three programs. What did I learn? I learned leader must have a vision. Leader must have a passion to accomplish the mission. Leader have a vision, we have experience. 1960s. One scientist, one political leader thought, why should we get wheat ships from abroad? We have to make grain in India. Today we are making 250 million tons of food thanks to C. Subramaniam and Dr. Swaminathan. Similarly, Vikram Sarabhai in 1970 has said India will have a communication satellite to link all the 600,000 villages. Today we have. Next one, leader should have passion to accomplish the mission. Not only vision, leader must have passion to accomplish the mission. Leader must be able to travel in an unexplored path. Leader never travels the path what somebody has made. Leader must know how to manage success and failure. I have seen success, many success. I have seen for failure. Failure management tough. There only leadership qualities needed. Leader must know how to manage a success and failure. Leader must have courage to take decisions. Every day, a leader, project director, when I was there, I was taking every day number of decisions. Some will go bad also, it doesn't matter. Leader must have courage to take decisions. Leader should have nobility in management. Management, nobility, they are part of art. But we must bring it together. Every action of the leader should be transparent. Last one, but the most important, leader of 21st century leader, one of the greatest quality what he or she needs, leader should work with integrity and succeed with integrity. Leader should work with integrity. Leader should work with integrity and succeed with integrity. I have been discussing these essential traits of creative leaders with people of eminence in different areas and students from India and abroad. Let us move on with the spirit of I can do it, we can do it, and India will do it. This quality of leadership will certainly empower the billion people of India with sustainable development as it is focused on the evolving nation of renaissance. Nation of Renaissance, I dream. A book is going to come. Name of the book is Squaring the Circle. Squaring the Circle, name of the book is going to come shortly. That is going to talk about Nation of Renaissance. My best wishes to all of you. May God bless you all, friends. Wish you all the best. So you will find solution for reinventing democracy, creative leaders. And also make citizen with capacity building. Wish you all the best. My best wish to all of you. May God bless you. Friends, I can take some questions, few questions. Anyway.
Useless. Thank you, sir, for a very thought-provoking talk. May I ask you the first question, sir? Sir, you've seen Indian politics at very close quarters. You've seen Indian politicians at very close quarters. You're a scientist. You believe in numbers. How would you rate Indian democracy on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, it's a good question. Good question. I personally believe, see, when I see from 1947 to 2013, we had a constitution. The constitution is a mover, is a dynamic step for keeping the democracy on. I felt, in spite of all the problems we had regularly, we had the election, electing the leaders. One trouble with us is, when you are electing the leaders, we have to elect leaders who can work with integrity and succeed with integrity. Okay, that we have to add that one. So answer to your question, I will put 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Okay.
That's not very good.
Well, pass mark. Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Anyone?
Anybody?
Yes, madam. Get up.
Sir, Javed.
Is there any one leader, if you had the final choice, who would you choose? Is there any one leader who you think fulfills all those criteria?
You are great, sir. I worked with two prime ministers, okay? When I was a president, I had to work with Vajpayee ji and Manmohan Singh ji. Vajpayee ji, I have seen with him, half I worked, 50% with him in 5 years, 50% with Manmohan Singh ji. Now, Manmohan Singh is an expert in the field, in the finance. No doubt he is an expert in the field. So I value his judgment on the economy and all, and his suggestion to various issues, and that respect I have got for him. Whereas Vajpayee ji takes fast decisions, okay? Fast decision. So this my mind says these are the two different. I hope both are complementary. Okay. Okay, sir. Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, go ahead.
Get a mic.
Mic, rush mic.
Sir, you gave an absolutely beautiful description of what a leader ought to be. But do you think without really bringing about a change in the education system, we can create such leaders? Because the system itself
It's a very good question. You see, education, madam, has three components. Primary education, secondary education, higher education. I don't have much comment on secondary education and higher education. Both are going somewhat good. But my comment is on the primary education. Up to age 15, children, we need creative teachers. Children need creative syllabus. Children need creative classroom. All the three are missing. So we have to make a lot of reform in the primary education. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
As you rightly said, democracy reinventing is like reinventing a wheel, actually. It's actually the political system.
Keep this like this, sir.
It is actually the political system which should take a change. Now, to create leaders, how do we get these leaders actually? Is there any structural changes which political parties should do in order to groom, create leaders at the grassroots level so that they take up positions later on and make the change happen?
See, I have seen political leaders, some political leaders in India, they can spot, for me, I was spotted by Professor Vikram Sarabhai because I was not highly qualified, but I was working hard. I was acquiring the knowledge at that time when he spotted me as a young scientist. Then he gave the full responsibility to grow. Not only he selected me when I am in the lower bottom, but he gave me a responsibility to grow and ensure that I succeed. If I fail, he was by my side. Okay. The greatest quality of a leader, whether political or scientist or technology or industry, when the success comes, the industry or the leader give the success to his team. When the failure comes, the leader absorbs the failure. This is the greatest quality in politics. Okay. That is, this I have witnessed actually in my life. I have witnessed when I failed in SLV3, that is first launch of SLV3, putting the satellite in the orbit. It went to Bay of Bengal. It failed. On that day, Professor Satish Dhawan, he took a press conference, national, international press conference. There, he announced that we failed today. Definitely in a year time we'll succeed. I was the project director. I am the mission director. He is taking the responsibility of failure, chairman of the ISRO. Next time when succeeded, he asked me to you go and conduct a press conference. Do you follow? That means when the success comes, he gives his people. When the failure comes, the leader absorbs. This is the quality, including media it is needed. Everywhere it is needed.
I'm afraid we have to end on that very wise note, sir.
Don't worry. If my mail is apj@abdulkalam.com. Send a mail. 24 hours you get a reply. apj@abdulkalam.com. Okay. Send a mail. This talk what I given is my website www.abdulkalam.com. It is in the website www.abdulkalam.com. Any question you send me. Wish you all the best. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.